Hello, my name's Jess, and excuse me for the shitty 2007-esque webcam that I'm currently supporting, but this is the only way that I can actually create a video that I can put online. Let me just sort this out. That's still not quite right, is it? So, I've been watching a lot of Graveyard Girl recently about the paranormal experiences and stuff, and I think this is really something that she could help me with. Basically, quite a few paranormal things or unexplained things have happened surrounding my nan's death. She died on the 9th of December, 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years this December. And she was very religious herself. Went to church regularly. Very sort of, oh, you mustn't blaspheme, stuff like that, but she swore like a sailor. So she's a very funny woman to have around. Excuse me for the lighting as well. Oh my god, I look like a ghost. This is stupid. But yes, when she died, basically, to give you a bit of background, my dad is like an expert with watches and clocks and stuff like that. So obviously, like, my nan had cancer, so it was the last few days actually of her life. She asked my dad to put in another battery for her watch because it was getting behind, and she was just getting frustrated with it because she was just like, she had the attitude, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die with the right bloody time on my wrist. She's that type of granny. So my dad did. But when she died, my dad was there with her. I think it was something like 3:15 in the morning. That's the exact same time that her watch stopped. The exact same minute, near enough, that the watch with the brand new battery in stopped. So that was the first really quite terrifying thing that really got us all worked up. Sorry, I'm getting upset about it, just talking about it, but I really need to get some advice because it's kind of driving everybody a bit mad. So then, my auntie, my uncle, and my granddad were in the house trying to sort out things for her funeral, and there were various outfits laid out downstairs in the living room, the same room that my nanny died in. But my auntie was upstairs going through her wardrobe trying to find what she was going to wear, and my auntie's fairly religious, you know, she believes in God, she believes in Christianity, all of that jazz. But she was looking through, and she was just saying to herself, she was like, please, Val, please just tell me what you want to wear, because I don't want to put you in the wrong thing, don't want you to come back and bloody haunt me. Like, really, like, please just let me know that I'm doing it right. So, she was upstairs going through, take a breath, little did she know that downstairs, where all the clothes were laid out, my uncle and my granddad heard this beeping noise, almost like a car alarm, but less harsh. Definitely coming from inside the... Sorry, a woman has just stepped out of... Oh my god. A woman stepped out of her front door across the street from me, because I'm filming in front of my window. I nearly wet myself. Anyway, they had this car alarm thing going off inside, and they knew it was inside, because obviously, like, that was where the sound was coming from. So they checked all their phones, and they're like, my phone isn't going off, the house phone is something off the hook. Let me just turn this light off. Is this any better? This is a little bit better. Let's just turn everything, like, make sure our phones are off. It wasn't the phones. Then they were like, okay, maybe it's something in the kitchen. They checked the kitchen appliances. They had a look outside to see if it was a car, but there were no cars other than my granddad's outside, and his wasn't going off. They were like, maybe it's just something in one of Nan's jackets, like a stopwatch or a little pocket watch or something like that she might have carried with her. So they were looking through the pockets, and as soon as my uncle put his hand on the blue jacket that I believe was quite special to my nan, I can't remember why, but it was quite special to her. As soon as he put his hand on that jacket, the ringing stopped. And that freaked everybody out so much, because my auntie could hear it upstairs. She could hear it upstairs as well, and she was wondering what it was, but she thought the same as them, that it was just a car alarm. So then, about a year or so after that, maybe, actually, the clock in the living room, again, figured where my nanny died, it exploded. And it's not like fire explosion, it was like somebody had broken, basically it was like a statue, like a plastic statue of a woman draped in like this cloth holding a pendulum clock above her head, and where she was holding it there was like a little like block thing, kind of like that, like in this shape, like supporting the clock. It looks as if someone had taken a samurai sword, cut it, and just scattered the clock everywhere. But nobody was in the room. And it wasn't wind, because like doors were shut, windows were shut. And my granddad was like, what the hell? Because this living room it's a pretty big living room, but bits were scattered everywhere. And my granddad couldn't explain it. He really couldn't. He didn't understand what was going on. And that was absolutely crazy. My granddad, this is another time as well, my granddad was in the living room, he was watching the television, fell asleep, but then when he woke up, the television was off at the plug, which he never turns off. It was, obviously the rest of it was off, it was all turned off properly, and that's exactly what my nanny used to do if he fell asleep in front of the TV. I'm getting chills talking about this is so weird. When I'm in that room as well, I feel really uneasy. I don't like being in the room by myself. I went in there with my ex-boyfriend. That was the first time in about 7 months that I'd stepped inside of the room. The first time I stepped inside of the room was about a year after she died, and I just started crying. I didn't know what happened, I just started crying. So I don't really know, because my granddad still says he smells her, and even when my nanny was alive, she said that she smelt her mother, who used to live in the house before it burned down, and her perfume, which smells of Parma violets. I don't know whether it's just like our brains making sense of stuff, or if it's actually something paranormal, because I don't really believe in it, but I don't really know what to think anymore. So yes, if anybody is any good at paranormal things and could help me out, send a video response, something like that, I would be so appreciative, because I'm so uneasy. I can't go into the house. I really can't. And it's not because I think my nanny would harm me, because she's the most loving person ever, but just because it terrifies me, like honestly. It makes me so scared. Thank you for watching, if you did. I'm sorry this is such a long video, but hopefully I can find some answers.